Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst. Hey, it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. What an absolutely honor and a privilege it is to be here today. Listen, we have a topic that I think is going to rattle your world. It's going to shake some feathers in regards to your health and your healing. I'm calling this disease or deficiency. Do you actually have a condition that would medically be diagnosed, prescribed, or some procedures? Or do you just have a deficiency in some key essential minerals, vitamins, nutrients, etc.? And the expression of that deficiency is the condition. We're going to talk about some fun ones. Energy. We did a lot about that last week. So many people today are saying, I can't seem to just get my energy back. Look, I had a patient the other day call in, and new patient, she said, I've slept for 3 days straight, and I'm still tired. I've been taking the over-the-counters and even the prescriptive sleep aids, and Dr. Ernst, I can't get my energy back. So what did we do? We started testing for deficiencies. So we're talking about energy. Here's a big one. Ready? Hair loss. Yikes. We got to talk about what can make your hair thin and or fall out. Now, I'm not talking about pattern baldness, unfortunately. I'm talking about thinning of your hair, the hair loss that comes sometimes as we get older, and it's maybe a deficiency. How about oral health issues, cavities and tongue problems and numbness and tingling and burning and swelling and ulcers and things like that? How about cramps? Have you ever had those moments where you're asleep and you're like, thank God I finally fell asleep. I've been having trouble falling asleep, and all of a sudden, boom, the Charlie horse hits your foot or your leg or your calf, and man, they hurt, don't they? So, yeah, not normal. We need to work on that. We're also going to talk about acne, skin rashes, reactions, and watch this, numbness and tingling in your hands and your feet. It could be a structural issue or it could be a nutritional issue. So, disease or deficiency. Disease or deficiency, I'm going to share with you that most of the time it's deficiency. And we're going to talk about some of the key nutrients and give you some solutions to get your hair to thicken. Get your energy to come back. Get your health back. Get your teeth and your everything else we talked about. I'm trying to think of them right now, right? Because I've lost my list, okay? And muscle cramps gone, and also numbness, tingling gone, and skin clear, right? Most of the guys are like, I don't care about that. I want my energy back. I want my hair back. The ladies, on the other hand, I want my skin to look nicer. I want my hair more lustrous. Let's do it, okay? If you're new to our show, yes, we come with a lot of energy. We come with excitement because your body's designed to heal by itself. And how great is that? You can break free from conditions that a lot of times medicine has said, nope, nothing. I've seen it. I've been in the holistic healthcare field now 15 years. Diabetes, gone. Acid reflux, gone. Psoriasis, gone. Eczema, gone. Thyroid issues, gone. So how does that work? A, find out what your body is missing, because 98% of conditions are lifestyle induced, which means you caused it by the choices you've made from the moment you entered this planet. But that would be also your parents' choices. This is now what they're terming familial, by the way. We're learning because of a emerging field called epigenetics and even the what are called psychobiotics, the relationship of the bacteria in your intestines and how it plays around with your brain and how you think and feel and act, and the epigenetics, fancy term for the environment that you live in and its effect on your body. So watch this. If you're deficient in key nutrients that, guess what, the research says you are, then the environment, your body, is empty of the things it needs to make health and healing and vibrance in life. And so you pay the price, and then your doctors will say, well, it's your genetics, and that's why you have this condition. So let's solve this today, right? Let's have some fun. So everything from energy to hair loss to oral health issues to numbness and tingling to muscle cramps to your skin, etc. Bam! And also, get this. My next webinar, I had to move the date, guys. I'm so sorry. I had a conflict with a continuing education class. Ugh. You know how they make your doctors and your physicians go to classes so we can relicense ourselves? I love them, but I hated the fact that the one I have to go to is on the day that I said the webinar was last week. So it's no longer on October 9th. It's now on October 16th. Here's the good news that gives you some extra time to register. It's free, and watch this. That webinar is about turning your batteries back on. You know how many people keep saying, I want more energy, I want more essence, I want more power, I'm tired all the time, I'm sick and tired of being tired. Fatigue, chronic fatigue, adrenal fatigue, fibromyalgia. If you have an energy-related issue, if you want more battery life, if you want more power, if you want to be waking up at 5 or 6 with uber energy and being full all throughout the day, I'm going to teach you my top techniques on boosting your energy. But here's the reason: to get your immune system strong so that your body can heal. And that webinar is now Saturday, October 16th, 10 a.m. in the morning. It's free. And here's how you register: 704-906-2094. And if you want to make it super easy for us and for you, text your name and your email. It's easy. Here's my name. Here's my email. Send 704-906-2094. Again, the webinar is free. Saturday, October 16th. It's a couple weeks away. We're going to get you energetic. We're going to get you healthy. We're going to get you vibrant and alive. And if you're taking a medication for a condition, maybe it goes away. If you want to lose 20 or 30 pounds, poof. If you want to have something change drastically in your health life, let's do that together on Saturday, October 16th. Okay, so nutrient deficiencies. Watch this. I'm going to come back in just a moment. We have a commercial that's coming up in just a second. I can smell it. But watch this. Ready? The number one issue, energy, and how it's not your age. It's not even really something related to what you're doing and the amount of sleep you have. It's the amount of nutrition you're getting in. I'm going to talk to you about the key nutrients that push your energy through the roof. Then we're going to talk about hair loss. Then we're going to talk about things like, again, your oral health, teeth and tongue and mouth. We're going to talk about muscle cramps. We're going to talk about even things like your skin and also your hands and your feet. All of that during our show today. And don't go away because, listen, I know what happens. You guys channel surf during the commercial breaks. Okay? Stick around. The best is yet to come. And don't forget right now, 704-906-2094. Text it. Call it. I have an entire call center. They're great people to help you get connected with us. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show, and we will be right back.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstscbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
How come there are people who drink a pint of whiskey a day for 20, 30 years, and at the end of it only 20 or 30% become cirrhotic? What happened to the others? And we speculated, we hypothesized, oh, it's the enzyme, alcoholic dehydrogenase made by the stomach. Maybe it's different, maybe it's genes, maybe it's polymorphism. The answer appears to be coffee. If you drink that much alcohol and drink 1 cup of regular coffee a day, 20% reduction in alcoholic cirrhosis risk, 2 cups 40%, 4 cups 80%. It's not a license to drink heavily and drink coffee and protect your liver. You know, you could still get Korsakoff psychosis, cardiomyopathy, pancreatitis, kill people on the road, ruin your marriage, but it does protect the liver. It's pretty amazing.
Here's a secret your grocery store does not want you to know. At ThriveMarket.com, get up to 50% off all your organic groceries delivered to your door for free. Shop organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, and paleo. And get a free jar of coconut oil. Thrive Market. Wholesome products, wholesale prices. Get your free coconut oil today only at ThriveMarket.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and hey, it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health conditions when you recognize that it's not a disease, it's a deficiency. Hey, that's the topic of our hour today, the deficiencies that create health issues that many of us think are common as we get older, normal because of genetics, or just we got bad luck handed to us. The card came back and said, you're stuck with X, Y, or Z. Maybe not. Maybe it's a deficiency. So listen to this. The number one issue that most of us are dealing with today, at least this is what people tell me when they come into our clinic or they email or they text in and they say, hey, help me with this, is my energy. Tired. Just tired all the time. We had a whole show last week about energy. If you missed that, my God, go to every podcasting source out there. Audacity, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. My shows are all over the internet, and you can download the one we did about energy. But I do want to talk about the deficiencies now associated with it. We talked about health conditions, thyroid and adrenal and leaky gut and how it sucks the energy out of you. Today we're talking about the nutrients that you're probably deficient in and why you have no energy, and why you have hair loss and why you have muscle cramps and why you have numbness and tingling and. Ready? Energy. Okay, the number one most important vitamin. And listen, I hate to say it, so many of you guys go out and you get this thing injected, and yes, it might work for a short period of time, but watch. If you have to constantly get your B12 shots over and over and over and over, and I've worked with a lot of patients, every week, Dr. Ernst, there's my B12 shot. I feel great for a couple days, but then I have to go back and I have to get another one, right? B12 is needed, but a lot of times what's happening is not being absorbed properly. It's water soluble, and there needs to be a specific thing in your digestive response called intrinsic factor that pulls the B12 over. And so if you have a deficiency with intrinsic factors, you're going to have a hard time absorbing your B vitamins. But listen to this. B12 specifically makes red blood cells. That, of course, transports oxygen through your body. And if you don't have enough B12, according to the National Institutes of Health, a 2016 report showed that it is the number one deficiency associated with that mid-afternoon chronic tiredness and fatigue because we don't get enough oxygen bound to our red blood cells. And it's also a big play for people who are typically vegan or vegetarian because guess where you find a lot of your naturally occurring B12? Fish, meat, eggs, dairy, and other animal-based products. Also, as we talked about, if you have a condition like leaky gut, or irritable bowel or Crohn's disease, which a lot of people have, then you have a hard time absorbing the B12 that you may be getting from your diet. So I want you to think, number one, if I'm tired, maybe we need to bump up your B12. And you can do that simply by, again, focusing on certain foods that are high in this nutrient. Now, if you don't want to go the meat sources, okay, grass-fed beef, wild-caught fish, turkey, chicken, etc., we can load up on things like avocados. What do you know? Loaded. Squash, massive amounts of B vitamins, that red peppers, sweet potatoes, broccoli, papaya, and carrots, massively loaded with B vitamins that can help to boost your energy. Okay, nutrient deficiency number two, and I'm going to tell you, when I test people for this, it comes back almost 100%. CoQ10. It's technically an antioxidant, but it's found in every single cell of your body. And most importantly, what CoQ10 does is it helps the electricity transfer across this thing called your mitochondria, a little tiny cell inside your cells. And here's what that does. It makes energy. It's your batteries. So I want you to think of this. CoQ10, if you're deficient, will not allow you to recharge your batteries. It's like you're the device that is plugged in all night, but it only reached 45% despite being plugged in for 12 hours. Something's wrong. Why isn't it going further? You're deficient in CoQ10. Again, guess where CoQ10 is mostly found? In animal products, organ meat specifically. So when's the last time you sat down and you just had a plate full of liver? Maybe, but it's been fried usually and breaded, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like healthy grass-fed liver that's been sliced real thin and sauteed in coconut oil. Boom, tons amount of CoQ10. Again, hard to do this, right? Tongue, kidney, ugh. Okay, so we can also get CoQ10 through supplementation, which is great. Another one that's really important behind your energy is magnesium. Did you know this? A lot of people, let me see if I can find my statistics on this. Ready? 50% of individuals are estimated to be deficient in magnesium. And listen, it's required in 300 chemical processes that happen in the body. Muscle contraction, nerve function, energy, right? So your brain and spinal cord is sending energy up and down 24 hours a day. If you didn't know this, you're actually wired internally. You have this cord, a tube that comes from your brain that goes right down the center of your spine. Little tiny nerve roots exit the spine, and they go to every single square inch of your body. It's called your nerve system, and magnesium can affect your nerve tissues. And here's the challenge. If you want your energy, you need your brain to send the signals down the spinal cord and over to your organs and your cells and your tissues. So if you're magnesium deficient, we start to see neurological functionality issues. Yes, energy, but also numbness, tingling, headaches, pain, etc. Watch this. It's also highly responsible for metabolizing blood sugars, cholesterols, and fats. So maybe your high blood pressure, cholesterol issues, or the needs for you to be on a statin is just you're deficient in a nutrient that is wildly needed. According to a 2012 study that was published at the National Institutes of Health, magnesium has also been shown to help people sleep. And because sometimes sleep disruptions can be a big player with our energy, why don't we get you higher amounts of magnesium? It's found a lot in raw chocolates, dark chocolates. Love it. Nuts and seeds, right? So macadamia, Brazil pecan, and almond. And also we tend to find magnesium in a lot of your dark green leafy vegetables. Another one that's absolutely essential for energy, and I think you'll understand this, is iron. Okay, and the challenge with iron is if you're taking an iron supplement, it's usually really poorly sourced. Okay, so it's hard to absorb that. So if we want really good energy, we need to let our iron come from food sources because it's typically what I'll call naturally fortified. It's ready to go and be absorbed. Iron is essential because we need it to bind oxygen to the red blood cell itself. B12 helps to make the red blood cells. Iron packs it full of the component that attracts the oxygen. So if your iron is deficient, which a lot of people are, but I'm not talking about anemias, I'm talking about a functional deficiency. Sources of iron are lower than normal. What we see is fatigue and tiredness, specifically that windedness with doing just normal things. Going up and down a flight of stairs and just being, oh man, that just wiped me out. To going around and shopping and doing things with errands with your kids, etc. Going from your car to the grocery store and back and going, oh man, I'm tired. Iron's usually what we're thinking of. Nuts and seeds, beans, lentils, and spinach are loaded with iron, as are, of course, a lot of animal-based products, fish, chicken, turkey, eggs, etc. So here we have number one. Maybe your major issue with your health and your energy is just the fact that there's a deficiency in some key nutrients. Magnesium, needed. CoQ10, needed. B vitamins, iron. So maybe it's time to actually do one thing. Think about getting the right kind of blood test, an assessment where we're actually looking at your nutritional levels rather than markers that tell us do you need to take a prescriptive drug. Okay, if your sugars are high, well, then they put you on a sugar pill. If your cholesterol's high, they put you on a cholesterol pill. If your blood pressure's high, they put you on on a blood pressure medication. But when was the last time your physician actually sat you down and said, okay, results are in, magnesium's low, D3's low, C is low, zinc is low, E is low, iron's low. And here's the things that can cause that. And guess what? 98% of your symptoms are related to this. So let's develop a nutritional therapy program. Let's work on your diet. Let's work on your supplements. Let's clean your intestines out. Let's work on opening up your detox pathways. That's what I do. all day long. And this is, again, how I said we see sugars destroyed, diabetes down 90 days, blood pressure reset. So if you're going like, man, I really want my life back, I want my health back, connect with us. Go to AskDrErnst.com. Top right-hand corner, greatest button on the whole page, in my opinion. Request a consultation. What does it let you do? Well, it lets you and me and maybe one of my team members talk so we can find out what's going on. It's absolutely free. Do you know how much the average consultation cost is to go to a physician today? Anywhere from $50 to $75, even $100. So you get 15 minutes direct, one-on-one. I can talk to you. Okay, here's what's going on. Hey, have you considered maybe getting these tests? Hey, maybe we should go try something like this. Guess what? It can point you in a direction to your health. And how much does it cost? Nothing. It's our gift to you. But actually, it costs something. The 45 seconds it takes you to load the web page and to click on the button and to fill the form out, so you have to take an action step. Maybe you also want to get a little more specific and you want to learn more. Maybe you're someone who likes to say, I want to know exactly about my health and what I need to do. Hey, look, another great reason to join us for our webinar that's coming up on Saturday, October 16th. We're calling it the Energy Webinar, but we're going to talk about every major condition that sucks the life out of all of us. Why am I so tired? We're going to describe that on the webinar. Not just nutritional deficiencies. Why am I gaining weight or doing all the right things but not losing any weight? You know, I've had clients say, I've been doing the gyms and the diets and I'm gaining weight, Dr. Ernst. Something's wrong. Okay, that's probably a hormonal issue. We talked about reverse T3 dominance before. Let's go deep into your health. The webinar is live. You and I get to chat. We get to talk. It's free. Just like the phone call consultations. Free. Okay, but you need to pick up the phone, 704-906-2094. Our call lines have quieted down, so you know what that means. It's time for you to call in. You can also text your name and your email, 704-906-2094. What about hair loss? Okay, this is a big deal for a lot of us. Again, I'm not talking about pattern baldness. I'm talking about when you're washing your hair in the shower and all of a sudden you look at your hands and you go, oh my God, there's hair everywhere. Or the thinning that starts to come. Here's the thing with hair. It can be a deficiency in a ton of things. Watch this. Protein, iron deficiency, water. You might be dehydrated. Lack of good, healthy fats. That's a big player. I'm going to talk to you guys about that. The types of fats you eat, listen, determine if your hair thins out or not. If you're doing a lot of vegetable oils, heart healthy, supposed can't believe it, not butter oils, you're using canola oil, your hair is going to start falling out. It can be a thyroid issue. We've talked about that. It can be an autoimmune disease. It can also be a vitamin deficiency. So listen to this. Did you know that vitamin D, iron, and also vitamin B, specifically biotin, is what actually makes your hair grow? So if you're deficient in any or all of those, then the follicles basically go and they die out. So then there goes the hair. It just falls right out. It's like a root system of a plant that dies, and so the tree just goes. They got thousands and thousands and millions of little tiny trees, so we want that forest growing back and being thick again. We're going to talk to you about how to do that when we come back from our next commercial break. And we're going to go deeper into muscle cramps, numbness and tingling. My God, we have so much for you guys today. And listen, I know what you're thinking, right? This is all great, Dr. Ernst, but I have this condition. I want to know more about that. Okay, connect with us. Go to the AskDrErnst.com. Hit us up for a consultation. Ask your questions so we can answer you. And join us again for the webinar that is absolutely free and live on Saturday, October 16th. Listen, it's 10 a.m. in the morning. It's so easy to do. Pajamas and a cup of coffee, and then your health comes back. But you got to pick up the phone. 704-906-2094, or text your name and your email to the same number, 704-906-2094. Hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Don't go away. When we come back, helping our hair to thicken, getting our muscles to stop hurting, making the numbness and tingling go away, and to boost my top, what I'll call superfoods that bring health and life back. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstscbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
How come there are people who drink a pint of whiskey a day for 20, 30 years, and at the end of it only 20 or 30% become cirrhotic? What happened to the others? And we speculated, we hypothesized, it's the enzyme, alcoholic dehydrogenase made by the stomach. Maybe it's different, maybe it's genes, maybe it's polymorphism. The answer appears to be coffee. If you drink that much alcohol and drink 1 cup of regular coffee a day, 20% reduction in alcoholic cirrhosis risk, 2 cups 40%, 4 cups 80%. It's not a license to drink heavily and drink coffee and protect your liver. You could still get Korsakoff psychosis, cardiomyopathy, pancreatitis, kill people on the road, ruin your marriage, but it does protect the liver. It's pretty amazing.
Here's a secret your grocery store does not want you to know. At ThriveMarket.com, get up to 50% off all your organic groceries delivered to your door for free. Shop organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, and paleo. And get a free jar of coconut oil. Thrive Market. Wholesome products, wholesale prices. Get your free coconut oil today only at ThriveMarket.com.
So this is the difference between biodynamic and conventional farming. Let's look at the difference in vineyards here. You have very green grass and herbs and life growing, and then dead soil over here. So this is a conventional vineyard where they spray pesticides, they use a lot of tractors to pull up the soil. This soil is dead, it's dry. There's no life. This is Klaus's vineyard. It's farmed biodynamically. Everything is picked by hand and they don't use any chemicals. So there's life, there's green grass, everything grows. This is the big disparity between conventional farming and biodynamic farming, and you can see it perfectly side by side. We prefer this wine, of course, because this wine is dead. There's nothing living in it.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe you're just joining us. Hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show, the show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. When we discover, is it a disease or a deficiency? It's our topic of the hour. Are you simply deficient in certain vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, thus giving you a symptom? Or is your doctor right saying it's this label and you need to take a medication? I'm here to tell you a lot of things we deal with are the fact that we're just simply deficient in the nutrients we need for health, wellness, vitality, and well-being. Let me give you an example. It's kind of popular today to watch TV and these shows where they're like remodeling a house or they're building a new one or, where they're tearing down one. I don't know, for some reason, we love seeing people build things on TV. And look, I'm just as guilty as you are. I've been watching this show where it's like they tear a house down, they put up these ultra modern ones, and they spend like next to nothing on it. It's pretty fabulous. But watch, okay? There's one thing that prevents them from finishing the job. And let's see if you guys can figure out what it is, okay? Money. So if you're deficient in money and you want to remodel a kitchen or you want to remodel a house, okay? And let's say the contractors come in and say, okay, it's going to cost you $38,000 to have this beautiful kitchen. And you go, I've got 31. Can we make it happen? You know what they're going to say? Only if we sacrifice some of the quality of what you were looking for. We got to go with cheaper products. Or we have to, instead of doing 4 ovens, I don't know why you want that, you do 2. Okay? If you run out of the essential element, the things that make stuff happen in a remodel, do you guys understand the analogy? If your money is running out and you're trying to put stuff in, you can't do it. So think of it this way. If your nutrients are running out, if you don't have enough vitamins, and your body's like, hey, that bone needs to be fixed, and it can't, well, again, guess what? It sacrifices, goes with lower quality, it'll fill it in, but it won't be as strong. If you have, say, a high blood pressure condition, your body's like, look, there's this vessel that's just, it's irritated, it's clogged, we need to clean it out. But you don't have the nutrients needed to go in and do it, then it won't. Do you see the analogy? If your energy is low, okay, so we need to go after these things. So hair, we talked about energy first. We're now talking about hair. Thinning hair. It's a big deal for a lot of people. And watch this. The number one deficiency that is usually behind someone's hair starting to thin is they're going through their shower routines and they're coming in or saying, look, 5, 6, 7 months ago, lustrous and now thin, is the inability for you to store a water-soluble vitamin called B7 biotin. Biotin, it is absolutely essential for an enzymatic reaction that takes place in the follicle of the hair. When biotin levels are low, it results in what's called loss of hair follicles. Now, those are the roots, okay? So what happens is little sections of your hair start to thin out and fall out. Biotin deficiency is the number one B vitamin deficiency associated with lack of good, thick, lustrous hair. Can you test for biotin? Yes. Is it on your annual physical? No. Isn't that crazy? Like, I would think I would want an annual physical that looks at all my vitamins, my minerals, my nutrients, looks at all my essential hormones, does an immune stress test, and then as a side, does all the medical tests. Right? Cholesterol, vitamin D, liver enzymes, etc. I'd want more of a functional test annually. And that's what I do on myself. It's what we do with our patients. It's how we help people to heal. You can also be deficient in vitamin D. Listen to this. Vitamin D stimulates new follicle growth. Did you guys know that just like your skin, portions of it die and new sections come back? Well, hair follicles naturally die. And there's a new one that's supposed to come back. So if the rate of the regeneration of the hair follicle is less than the rate of the loss of the hair follicles, you can see where I'm going with this. Well, your hair starts to thin out. Guess how many people are deficient in vitamin D? According to the World Health Organization, 90% of Americans. That should come as a shock to you. 90% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D. Iron is also crucial. It requires the ability to carry oxygen through the red blood cell and feed that follicle to help your body to start printing out new hair. Now watch this. You may also be deficient in healthy carbohydrates. A side effect of going ultra low carb keto, right? If you guys have ever done this. I went ketogenic. I pushed my ketones through the roof. I felt great. I lost a lot of weight, but I also lost half my hair. Okay, if you're going super low carb for too long periods of time, your hair can thin out. So a solution would be, let's bump your B vitamins, egg yolks, lentils, peas, sunflowers, liver. Notice liver was good for energy. Liver's good for your hair. Liver's actually good for everything. It has to be grass-fed, and it can't be fried in, wheat wraps and stuff like that, or breaded. Mushrooms and avocados, super high amounts of the fats and the nutrients we need to get our hair to grow back. Okay. Did you know also, too, that unfortunately, a lot of the vitamins that are responsible for our thick and lustrous hair become deficient if you take an antidepressant. It drains B vitamins out of your body. And if you've ever been on an antibiotic, because antibiotics interfere with your gut microbiome, the bacteria, which are responsible for the absorption. So if your hair is thinning, I want you to think B vitamins, biotin specifically. I want you to think vitamin D, boost your D levels up. I want you to think your iron, and I want you to make sure that if you are currently pushing real hard with a ketogenic diet, then maybe we start modifying what your indexes and your ratios need to be to get your body to start growing your hair back. Okay, what about muscle cramps, Charlie horses? Okay, I've had a lot of patients say to me things like, my legs are just achy and tired. And, I wake up sometimes in the night with that sort of like, bam, that contraction. Okay, frequent muscle contractions in your legs is often an indication that you're deficient in electrolytes, sodium, potassium, chloride, etc., but also even more so with things like magnesium, potassium, and even calcium. Now watch this. Magnesium deficiency is the number one. And that's why most people, when they just start to take magnesium glycinate or some sort of a magnesium oil that they rub on their skin, will say, hey, listen, my cramping and my aching in my legs started to disappear, or my calves or my hands or wherever. Calcium is responsible for making a muscle contract. Magnesium goes in and pushes the calcium off the muscle fiber, so therefore the muscle relaxes. If you don't have enough magnesium, you don't get the relaxation effect, and as a result, your muscles can cramp up. But now watch this. That would also mean other muscles of your body are cramping. So I don't know if you know this or not, but almost every organ in your body is actually a muscle. So if you have cramping in your heart, that's palpitations, arrhythmias, and high blood pressure. If you have cramping in your liver, it can be physical pain in the abdomen, or it can be that you're squirting out a lot of enzymes and cholesterol and bile. We often see poor quality of sleep associated with magnesium deficiencies and headaches, irregular heartbeat, numbness and tingling. Why? Pain and soreness. Why? Because your body is a huge muscle. Your organs are muscles. And if your muscles are tight and contracting and cramping because of a magnesium deficiency, it can lead to a health issue. And I'm here to tell you, 40% of Americans are deficient in magnesium. 90% are deficient in vitamin D. So we just need to start solving our deficiencies. Right now is a great opportunity for you to join us for our next live webinar, Saturday, October 16th. It's on solving your energy issues, helping your body to heal by itself. Call 704-906-2094 or text your name and your email, 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We'll be right back. More solutions to solving deficiencies instead of disease. We'll see you guys in a moment.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstscbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
Good afternoon. Hey, guess what? It's Saturday. What a great day today. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst. We're talking about, is it a disease or a deficiency? Is what's going on with your health a result of bad genetics, bad luck, some sort of a condition that you've recently been diagnosed with? Or is it because you're running out of the key nutrients, enzymes, and cofactors you need for your body to heal that condition, whatever it is? We've been talking about some of the biggest body signals of nutrient deficiencies: energy drop, fatigue, and we discussed some things you can do immediately to start getting your energy back. We talked about hair thinning and hair loss as being a major player with certain B vitamins, biotin, vitamin D, iron, and some of the essential fatty acids that you need in order for your hair to physically grow. We also talked about how when we want to look our best and feel our best and not have muscle cramps and aches and charley horses, that we need to ensure that we're getting enough electrolytes, sodium, potassium, chloride, phosphorus, etc., and that magnesium, potassium, and chloride, magnesium, potassium, chloride, and calcium can be super low, which creates a cramping sensation within your muscles, often seen at night, but it can also be throughout the entire part of your day. You know, that's sort of just, God, my shoulders just won't release. Or, my arm is just real tight and cramping, my hip, my back. Why is that? Because a lot of your body is actually muscle. You might look around and say, I guess you don't know me, Dr. Ernst. I don't have a lot of muscle. By definition, every organ in your body is a muscle, typically. Heart's a muscle, lungs are muscles. Did you know that even your stomach is a muscle and your liver's a muscle? Your kidney's a muscle. They have to contract and move and secrete and make things work. Did you know that your blood vessels are muscles? They have smooth muscles that can contract and expand and change. So if you have tightness, like a charley horse in your leg, as a functional physician, I'm already thinking, whew, you probably also have internal cramping of organ tissues that may be the relationship of why you have said diagnosis or disease. What are the signs of a magnesium deficiency? Listen to this. Difficulty thinking. Yes, your brain is a muscle. Everybody says you have to exercise your brain. It's actually technically more cholesterol than anything else. It's a soft sort of waxy material, but it is a neurological organ, and it has to generate energy and send signals and messages back and forth. So if you're deficient in magnesium, nerve conduction starts to go down and cognitive processing, brain fog starts to kick in. Headaches, we start constricting the vessels that go up into our brain and we don't get enough blood flow and enough oxygen, and so then our head starts to ache. Constipation, I wonder why it would be that. Well, the muscles are cramping in your intestines and nothing comes out. Fatigue, tiredness, muscle contractions and cramping, of course. Soreness and pain, what is that? That's muscles not letting go. Irregular heartbeat. What is that? That's the muscle of your heart not doing its right thing because of a deficiency. Numbness and tingling. We're going to talk about that one in a moment, but it's a huge, huge play to it. What are some of the highest sources of magnesium and potassium, electrolytes, etc., in food sources that you can start boosting these? Avocados, pumpkin seeds, unsweetened dark raw chocolate. Oh my God, my favorite. Brazil nuts, almonds, which also have both magnesium and potassium and some levels of calcium. Anything that's fermented, that's a food product, not a beverage. Don't go there. Fermented food products like kefir, sauerkrauts, things to this effect. And watch this. Coconut water, specifically the young coconuts. There's some sugar in this, so you have to be careful with it, but coconut water is a great, great source of electrolytes and minerals and even potassiums. And if you want to really go to town, ferment the coconut water, and now you're getting the best of everything. Here's a little trick that you can do weekly if you really want to help relax your muscles in your body, help headaches, boost your energy. You see where I'm going with this? Like solve a lot of these issues. Take an Epsom salt bath. Look, guys, it's so simple. The average bathtub for an adult that fill it all the way up to the top needs about a cup or two of just Epsom salts. They're so cheap. It's a magnesium chloride salt. Once it hits the water, the two break apart. Magnesium gets absorbed in through the skin. And if you want to help out, we can use some things like essential oils that you can put into that bath, including lavender, chamomile, rosemary. Those three have been shown to help to reduce the irritations with muscle cramping, I think because they also help to absorb a lot of the magnesium once you have it all over you because you're in the bath, right? I would recommend highly. I know it's going to sound strange, but you need to just give yourself at least 30 minutes to just kick back, really hot bathtub, in you go with the magnesium. You do it once a week, I guarantee you're going to see a huge change in just how you feel overall. Your energy, it's also very detoxifying, and it helps to relax your muscles. Okay, numbness and tingling. This is a big deal. Listen, as a structural chiropractor also, I have a lot of people who say things like sciatica, numbness, tingling, my hands are vibrating, etc. Can it be because of something physical? Yes. Nerves out of alignment, discs out of alignment, compressing nerve tissues. But sometimes we do the assessment of where that nerve comes from. Let's say your hands are constantly sort of vibratory, numb, and tingling. We go up and we look at the C6, C7, C8 nerve roots, and they're clean. Well, then the only thing left would be a nutrient deficiency. So have you ever had numbness or tingling in your fingers or your toes? How about that sensation where it's kind of like a pins and needles? And I'm not talking about I just slept on my arm sideways, and so when I woke up, I shook it. That's a deficiency in oxygen. You blocked the blood vessels that feed the arm, and all the carbon dioxide and the metabolic waste are not being flushed out. So guess what it does? It makes your nerves numb and tingly. Best solution for that, move, and also find a better sleeping position. Or maybe you sit for a long period of time with your leg crossed and all of a sudden your feet go numb, okay? That's blood flow. But what if you're not doing those things? Okay, some of the most recent discoveries in neurological numbness and tingling and things like that comes back to, again, B vitamins. Most specifically, folate, B9, and vitamin B12. So again, often we see a combination of all of this together. I was talking with the producer before our show, and he's like, I shared with him, okay, these are the things we're talking about. He goes, what if I have all of them? Well, it's an indication that there's usually nutrient deficiencies in multiple categories. So watch how easy it is. If you get your B vitamins corrected, if you fix your magnesium, if you work on your CoQ10 and your energy, your essential amino acids, and some of the other vitamins I'm talking about, your whole life can change. I'm talking like to the degree where people say, whoa, what have you done? You look amazing. You look like you have a ton of energy. How did you do this? And, when you start saying, well, I instead of guessing and going to said store and buying every vitamin they had, I actually did a free consult call with a physician who was on the radio, free. We talked about my health issues. Maybe I invested slightly and I got a test done, go figure, to find your specific deficiencies. We developed a plan of supplementation and diet and sort of other key nutrients. And in said period of time, month 2, 3, I now have my life back. I mean, what is that worth? You honestly, you can't even put a price at it. Vitamin B12, vitamin B9, folate. Did you know that as early as they've discovered vitamin B12, which was 1849, researchers connected its function to being a main neurological stabilizer? See, a lot of people think B12 is just an energy supplement, and it does give you some more energy. But what it actually does is it regulates the nerve function in your body. And because your nerves are the conduits and the wires for all electricity in your body, I think you can see if you get your B12 working, it's not just giving you B12 energy, it's giving you nerve energy. It's also helping your nerves to heal to a degree, and so we can see numbness and tingling start to clear. Did you know that vitamin B12 also supports the synthesis of your DNA? It helps you to actually regenerate your genetic makeup, which, by the way, is constantly being attacked and degraded and has to be regenerated. And if you don't have enough B12, you can't regenerate your DNA properly. Now, I'm going to go deep into those of you who know about this, but homocysteine is an inflammatory marker. Okay, when I do my annual physicals, homocysteine's on there. If I'm inflamed, I'm on the downhill path quickly to getting a condition, a disease. So unfortunately, a lot of times homocysteine isn't being checked. Vitamin B12 is a main regulator of homocysteine. If your homocysteine levels are really high, it tells us your B vitamins are off balance and you're inflamed. It can actually become toxic if homocysteine levels get extremely high. Then we see chronic inflammatory conditions, IBS, IBD, arthritis, anything that ends in itis, and inflammatory states. So do you see how, as the top of the hour, when I said, is it a disease or a deficiency? There's a 98% likelihood it's just a deficiency. But you might be saying, well, which deficiency do I have? Is it B12, B9, B6, folate, CoQ10, magnesium? Let's get tested. Let's start looking into this. If you're curious and you want to connect with us here locally, askdrernst.com. The page loads, top right-hand corner, request a consult. Put your info in and we'll call you. We'll connect with you. We'll see what we can do to help. If you're like, I don't know if I want to go that fast, that far, etc., then join us for our webinar. It's free. Saturday, October 16th. It's at 10 a.m. in the morning, and all you have to do is pick up the phone and call 704-906-2094 and or text. Simple. Name. Email. Send. You know, even though last week, listen, when I did the webinar, I made the announcement, hey, just send us a text with your name and your email. And here's the text we got. Register me for the seminar. And it's like, what's your name and what's your email? So just help us out, right? Name, email, 704-906-2094. So B vitamins, big player. Folate is another B vitamin that's responsible for neurological functionality. Deficiencies in folate have been shown to create what's called inflammatory neurological conditions. One of the earliest signs of a folate deficiency is, ready for this? Numbness and tingling in your hands and your feet. So could it be a disc issue? Sure. Could it be a nerve problem? Yeah. Could it be a vitamin deficiency? You bet. And here's the thing. B vitamins are water soluble, and most of us are having issues with absorbing them because they're water soluble. And it's estimated that the majority of Americans are B vitamin deficient. And I can tell you for a fact, because one of our basic screening profiles on all patients I work with is a vitamin and mineral assessment. 99.99999% of everyone I've worked with has come back with B vitamin deficiencies. Are they found in foods? Sure. Eggs, meat, chicken, fish, turkey, dark green leafy vegetables. And I know what you're going to say, but I eat those. How can I still be deficient? Now we have to go to the next layer. Are you absorbing what you're eating? I don't know if you know this or not, but the moment you swallow food, it's not technically inside of you yet. What? It's not on my plate anymore. Where did it go? Well, it's in a tube. It's in your esophagus. It's in your stomach. It has to be broken down into individual components and absorbed through the cell tissues. So what is the biggest reason so many of us are nutrient deficient? Ready for this? We don't have enough digestive enzymes. We don't have enough stomach acid, and we're stressed out. We're stress eating, on the go, super fast. And I hate to say this, but you're doing one thing, and here it is, the little trick. You're drinking fluids when you're eating your food. You're diluting your stomach acids, and you don't absorb your vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. So there's one thing you could do right now that will change your life. Stop drinking fluids when you eat food. Look at all the fun stuff you guys have to learn. That's why we have our webinar, Saturday, October 16th, 704-906-2094. If you have a health condition and you're looking for professional guidance from a holistic perspective, no meds, no procedures medically, just nothing but raw, holistic health, hit us up at askdrernst.com. Top right-hand corner is request a consultation, and I will call you directly. We'll connect. We'll see what you can do to be set free and become your own doctor. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. Until then.